Who hasn't, at some point, dreamed of living in the countryside? Life under open skies, no stress, no traffic fumes, no deadlines. A quiet, everyday life, close to nature, to plants, and to animals. Already on the gravel road leading up to the farm, you sense the idle. As they say, every paradise has a snake. Here it took the shape of 15 full-grown, very enthusiastic roosters. One sounds eager, another sounds like it wants to be in charge of everything. Another is deep. A third is thrill. When you really listen, the differences are striking. It isn't one song, it's a choir. And then you find yourself standing there, not with a problem that can be solved quickly, because the dream was never to become a butcher. The dream was the opposite, to live in peace with the animals. Sophie and Harold works with the stories that emerge in the tension between humans and animals. Not when something is sick, not when something is dangerous, but when relationships begin to creak. When what was meant to be calm starts to create unrest. So, when Harold first heard about the roosters, it wasn't the noise that caught his attention. It was the question underneath. What do you do when you've invited animals fully into your life and suddenly realize you can no longer hear yourself think? I know it sounds like a luxury problem, she says, the woman at the farm, glancing at her husband. They're just roosters. She paused for a moment. But it's not just the noise. We can't stand the thought that some of them are simply surplus, that they have to be discarded because they don't turn into hens. She took a deep breath, and then her husband took over. No, it's hard to know what the right thing is, whether you can have both. Harold sat quietly for a moment, listening, before he spoke. You're not dealing with just one problem. You're standing in a place where several ways of living have ended up overlapping. There's one way of living with animals where you know exactly what comes with it. And there's another way where you expect something different from everyday life. He paused. Neither of them is wrong. But it becomes difficult when you try to stand in both places at the same time. Silence settled around the table, not because the problem had been solved, but because it had finally been spoken aloud. The roosters could still be heard outside, a little farther away now, like a reminder that some choices don't disappear just because you don't yet know what to do with them. Maybe it isn't about finding the right solution, but about finding the place where you yourself can stand and being true to that.